Hello class, Brian Fraley. Talking about my experiences with public speaking. My experience with public speaking is very broad. I've done classes where I've taught people about sexual assault response program, the Army sexual assault program, to anywhere from a couple people, a handful, like 4 or 5, all the way up to, I think it was about 450, 500 people was the largest I've ever done. And then here, my current assignment, like you saw in my introductory video, I'm an instructor, so I've also taught, typical class sizes are 8 for us here, but there have been times where I've taught up to 24 students. So my experience public speaking is pretty wide, but it's more tailored to discussions and facilitations with different groups of people, all of them, or I should say the most of them being soldiers. Most of that is traditional face-to-face live presentations and conversations with people, with the exception that I do use some technology in the form of videos, as well as other things like PowerPoint presentation presenters, little slide clickers and stuff like that makes it easier for you as the presenter or the instructor person given the presentation. My approach is a pretty straightforward approach. I like to know the material and I want to know everything about it. When I start teaching something new or I'm going to present something new, I typically like to be the one developing and or making, if I prep PowerPoint presentations or the lesson plan for it, my outline, so that way I know the subject material, I know exactly what it is, exactly what I'm talking about, and I don't have to concern myself with trying to remember what someone else is trying to tell me what to say. If I can't do that and I have to take something from someone else, I study it. I memorize it, I look into it, I do research on that topic to try and develop my own personal knowledge to make me as comfortable with that subject. So if someone asks me a question, I can answer that question and give them the response. I don't like to tell them I don't know the answer to a question, but if I do have to do that, then so be it. But I do make it a point to get back with that person. My anxiety level stays pretty low for most public speaking sort of things. To be honest, recording these videos I think has been worse for me on public speaking than it has been my traditional classes and those sorts of things. When I'm teaching the SHARP program, where I'm teaching my students in the schoolhouse, I know the material pretty well. I remember it. I know what I'm talking about. I have the manuals to back it up. And in this situation, even though I'm just talking about myself, it's a little more uncomfortable. But for the most part, when I'm presenting, I usually don't have very much anxiety because I do study so well. I know the material really well. I hope to get stronger skills in the future out of this class. And the big thing for me is more of the one-on-one, because these types of classes can help with that communication skills and those sorts of things between individual people. And then another thing is making sure I can keep the group of everyone engaged in that conversation with whatever I'm discussing with them at that time. Thank you very much.